Now, this marks the official launch of this Prime Agriculture Response Vehicle scheme.
Umentri Rangba Conrad Sangma Hakashi tarik jeliu ula pelat paidbah iaki arpau teli ki kaliket marep ki batip kum ki Prime Agriculture Response Vehicles ha Meghalaya Agricultural Management and Extension Training Institute Operashilong. Hakani ke juk kasngi la pelat ya ka MEGAMB Meghalaya State Agriculture Marketing Board Meghalaya Farmer App bat ya ka website ka MAMETI. Hakani ke jing pelat paidbah ya kini ki kali nongrep la dalang kementri ka kamrep kamriang ka kong amparin lingdo ka Secretary Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Department ka kong Isa Wanda lalu bat kiwei. Ukonrad habakren ula ong kumba prapho persen ki brio hajela ki emna karep karyang kumta kadan kam ya ka sorkar ban kyrshan ya ki nongrep bat ula ong ka sorkar kala sedang ye bun teli ki program na kebenta ki nongrep. Ula ongru kumba sanpau hajar ngut ki samla nongwat kam kimi hajela bat lai hajar ngut ki rung sya ki kam sorkar bat ki basa ki treisha ki jaka trikam shimen. Kumta kadan kam ban pai khmat sya ka kamrep ka jingshna jingbam bat kam jungo kai nalor ki kam ban ai jingshakri ne ki service sector baharu kom ki balong ki benta ki bakong san ban ai kam ai jam.
On how there has been a transformation and how the overall farming sector has started to change. The farmers are slowly starting to get the benefit, and slowly and steadily we are seeing many areas and many sectors within the farming sector grow and farmers getting a large amount of benefit. Another important aspect of agriculture and farming is also to remember that the agriculture sector creates a large amount of employment for us. Just to give you a few numbers, Meghalaya, according to its demographic, almost every year there are close to 50,000 youth that join the workforce. Every year, based on our birth rate. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, but on an average, 50,000 new boys and girls are joining the workforce every year. If you look at this workforce, there are only two areas which they can go. One is the private sector and one is government. You would have ad hoc employees and you would have regular employees. Just to share a few numbers, in a year on an average, plus minus could be there depending on a particular year, maybe averaging about 1,000 to 1,500 regular posts come out for employment in government sector. Sometimes 500, sometimes 1,000, sometimes 1,500. And maybe in an ad hoc and temporary basis, maybe another 1,000 to 2,000 jobs come out. So in the government sector, we're looking at about 3,000 jobs maybe coming. And out of that, regular posts are not more than 1,000 on an average every year. So the 50,000 people, the youth that are coming in, about 47,000 of them, that means 95%, are going to get employed in the private sector. And when the private sector employment I'm talking about, it comes in, then we have to look at agriculture, food processing, tourism and service sector as the key area for it to develop. If we don't do that, we will not be able to provide the necessary employment and job opportunities to our young generation. And hence, that is the challenge in front of the government and the society as a whole. Obviously, for this to happen, for the private sector to grow, many things are required. To be able to cater to this 95% requirement of jobs in the private sector, We need to ensure that we have the right environment in our state. We need to ensure that we are looked at as a state that is peaceful and as a state where we can invest in, so that tomorrow big hotels can come and invest. Through the hotels, jobs are created. Through these hotels, the agriculture sector is benefited. All of these are connected. So for investments to grow, we need to have the right environment, the right ecosystem. We also have to remember that while we do that, we need the private sector to come in, which means all of you. We need the entrepreneurs, we need the IVCS groups, we need the members, secretary, presidents. So in this entire economy of our state, while we're trying to boost up our private sector, agriculture and food processing plays a vital role to ensure that we are able to provide economic benefits to our people, so that we are able to create the employment that's required for this 47,000 youths that are joining every year. So while yes, we may talk about government jobs, but let me tell you, they are only 1% or 2% of the entire availability of work in the entire market. Hence, they will not be able to resolve the problems that we have. And that's why in the last 5 years as a government, we have realized and started focusing on agriculture, food processing, tourism in a very, very big manner. We have started focusing on service sector. For the first time, Meghalaya has international BPO processes and call centers running from Shillong. We have companies from US, from UK, from other parts of Europe running their processes right here in Shillong, where more than 3,000 of our youths are employed in the service sector. And this government intends to have another 5,000 seats available by April. Construction is going on right now as we speak. And I'm hoping that in the next 5 years, we should be able to expand our IT sector to more than 20,000 seats and be able to provide roughly 50,000 jobs in the IT sector.
Hakanigasngi Menteri Rangba ulapan bena baon sa Pyllait sa arspa teli ki Prime Agriculture Response Vehicles. Kini kikali nongrep an ai lingba ki Operative Society, Self-Help Group, Farmers Producer Organization, bat Shakiriu Shimet da kaba ai ya ka subsidy kaba 100%.
Today we have distributed just 20 vehicles out of the 200 in the first phase. I'm happy to inform you that we have agreed to give another 200 vehicles in the next phase. That means 400 vehicles is what we'll distribute. And not only that, my target is that in the next 5 years, we should have minimum of 1,000 vehicles in this agri-response system. And only then will we see a strong fleet of vehicles at the availability of the farmers to be able to utilize it and not be manipulated by large buyers who will then not allow the transportation to take place. You're not able to take your product to the market and you're forced to sell your product at a cheaper rate. No. The farmer must be in control of the situation. You must be able to decide whether you want to sell the product or not. Just because you don't have a vehicle to take your product or vehicle to bring back your product, or just because you don't have the cold storage to store the product for 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights. If you are at the mercy of the buyer and the middleman, then that is exactly where the problem lies. And that is what we want to solve. And I'm not saying we'll do it in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or 1 year. It is a process. It will take time. But the work has begun.
Ula ongru ba kidan buon tili ki apps na kabenta ki nongrep kabakila banyo jingerap banreang bat kumju ban bu jingken bat penyat bet yat renti ya ki kam ki jam ba man kasngi.